Hi and welcome along to AFTV. We are down here at the Vitality Stadium in Bournemouth. It's a bit blustery with the rain, no sunshine in here in Bournemouth, no chilling out on the beach before the game, but we're here to discuss what we think the 11 could be. This is our predicted 11. You can do your predicted 11 as well. All you got to do is download the app AFTV Plus and you can select your 11. If you haven't got the app yet, what are you waiting for? You know what? This is a place you want to come to in the summer months. Yeah, you know what I mean? The place be really, really hot. You can go down to the beach because they've got a beautiful beach here in Bournemouth. You know, get a few drinks and then come up to the game, but it probably won't be weather like that this weekend.
It's my first time in this part of the country, to be honest.
Yeah?
I've never been to Bournemouth before, never.
It's honestly, I like it down there. It's a really nice place.
Yeah,
really nice place.
A lot of people tell me it's nice.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. But anyway, we don't want it to be too nice for them this week because we need to come here and get 3 points. And the really intriguing thing about this weekend is what starting 11 Mikel Arteta will go for. You know, I mean, we had the North London derby last week, picked up a load of injuries out of that game. We then had the game during the week against Brentford. That was a really physical game. It was. You know what I mean? So, you know, you saw a lot of players coming off of the pitch tired. You know what I mean? That weren't your regular Carabao Cup game. And then, of course, following the Bournemouth game on Saturday, we then go away to Lens on the Tuesday for another Champions League game. And then next weekend, it's Manchester City. So rotation may come into Mikel Arteta's mind when it comes to the team selection, even though after dropping 2 points against Tottenham, which is how I look on it, even though all their fans look on it like they won the Champions League, like you said in the last video.
I've never seen a team celebrate a draw so much, honestly.
It is vital that we get the squad right and we come here and get 3 points. So let's take a look at what we think the 11 could be, our predicted 11, and also, you know, we can also say what we would like to see, but also the predicted 11. So starting off with one of the most intriguing positions in this team. It not normally is. Normally it's just like, well, in goal Ramsdale. That's what it would have been last season. But who starts between the sticks this week? Is it Raya or Ramsdale? Raya, we saw he had a decent game in the North London derby, pulled off that absolutely brilliant Seaman-esque save that he made. You know what I mean? But then during the week, Ramsdale, in the game against Brentford, played really, really well. Yeah. And he also pulled off an unbelievable save as well. I remember Ramsdale used to play here.
Yeah.
He used to play at Bournemouth, so he knows the place, he knows the pitch.
Yeah.
Who starts in goal for you? Who would you start?
You know what, I would say that either one starts, I'm happy. But I've got to be honest, for me, Raya has to start because in the games that he's played really well. And I think it goes down to the fact that Raya was brought into the team because of his perceived better footballing skills. I mean, his distribution and stuff like that. And we've already seen evidence of that. I also think that he does generate a lot of confidence with the way he is, the way he communicates with the back four. Not to say that Ramsdale doesn't.
But look at Ramsdale the other night.
Exactly,
I mean, he was pumped for that game. You know what I mean? When he made that save, the way he turned around to the Brentford crowd and gave it to them, I thought his distribution, there was one time when he nearly got caught, right? But his distribution on the whole in the game was good, made good saves. And again, his communication with the back four is good as well. So
I think I'm leaning towards Raya, but like I said, if Ramsdale starts, then you know.
Well, you know what, right? I think Raya will start. Right, but I would like to see Ramsdale start because merely for the fact that he's just had a great game.
Are you going on emotion?
And I'm not going on emotion. He had a great game and he used to play it.
Okay.
So he'll be used to the place. So to me, if Mikel Arteta is truly saying about this rotation stuff and that, start Ramsdale here. You could play Raya against Lens.
Yeah, they've both done nothing wrong.
They've both done nothing wrong, but I do think you're right.
But I'll just give it to Raya because of the edge he has in terms of his ability on the ball.
Okay, right back. Ben
White for me. Came off yesterday, but I think that's mainly because, you know, rest him up. And I think he'll be back on Saturday.
All right, so Raya, yeah, I'm sorry, Ben White, of course, will be in that right back position. I guess we fully expect Saliba to come back in for this game, rested the other day for that game against Brentford. I think that's wise to do.
To me, he's one of the guys that's his name's on the sheet pretty much straight away.
There's a few people saying to me the other night, oh, why didn't he play in that game against Brentford? I'm like, well, we have to remember that slight back problem, the big back problem he had last season. He's a player that you have to rotate. So expect him to be back. And then Gabriel next to him. Gabriel, I thought was...
against Brentford in the EFL Cup, he was outstanding. I thought he was our man of the match. Although, you know, people are saying Reece Nelson as well, but it's definitely between those two.
Could you rotate him maybe for Kivior?
Kivior looked good.
He made a lovely block in that game off a goal-bound shot. He did all right as well, but it's got to be Gabriel.
I mean, like we said earlier, we don't want to rest and rotate too much.
Yeah.
And Gabriel and Saliba look, I wouldn't say impregnable, but they look very, very good.
Yeah. All right. Now, left back. This is interesting because obviously the man on my T-shirt is Zinchenko. You know, he's the regular starter, but I thought Tomiyasu, even though, you know, he was playing a lot of times as a centre-back the other night, but Tomiyasu was brilliant the other night.
He was.
Do you know, we're going away from home, do you start Tomiyasu in this game or do you stick with Zinchenko and stay positive?
I would stick with Zinchenko. He offers a bit more, especially going forward. I think we could do with that, especially away from home, especially that we need the win. I mean, we dropped points last week. We can't afford to drop points this week. For me, Zinchenko has to start.
Okay, moving into the middle of the park, the midfield area. If he's fit, obviously Declan Rice will start in that position if he's fully fit for this game.
He's one of the no-brainers.
Yeah, let me just say, if he's not fully fit, who starts then? Because Mohamed El Neni came on the other night. He did all right, and then obviously
got a great reception from the fans.
Jorginho, you know, after that big mistake in the North London derby, you know, recovered well in that game. So if Declan Rice is not fit for the game, who out of those two would you put in instead?
I'd have to go for Jorginho, even though, let's be honest, it was a pretty poor mistake last week, which led to Spurs' goal. You wouldn't expect that normally from a player, especially of Jorginho's talent, ability and experience. But that's a blip. I'm going to call that a blip.
Yeah.
If Declan Rice is not available, I would fully expect to see Jorginho. And let's be honest, Mo El Neni, great club man, but yesterday was his first bit of taste of football for some time. So yeah. Definitely Jorginho.
Okay, all right, well, yep. But hopefully it's Declan Rice. Listen, Martin Odegaard obviously is a shoo-in unless he's injured. He's
been amazing.
He's an absolute shoo-in. But who comes into that number 8 position right now? I'm going to give you a couple of options for that. Fabio Vieira, if he's fit, he didn't figure at all in the game against Brentford.
Do we know why that is?
We don't know why that is, but he did come off at half-time. Now, is it an injury? Was he rested? We don't know because he came out at half-time in the North London derby. So you got the option of Fabio Vieira. You can go with Kai Havertz, of course, right, who played the full 90 in that game. Or a player that I thought, did all right, Emile Smith-Rowe, maybe in that position. Who would you go with?
Now, that's a difficult one. Personally, I would go with Fabio Vieira, although I tend to think that the manager would go with Havertz.
Listen, I'll go with Fabio Vieira. If Fabio Vieira is not fit, I'd go with Smith-Rowe. I want to see Smith-Rowe playing in that position.
I wouldn't have a problem with that, by the way.
I'd love to see that. I thought he looked lively the other night. I mean, he had that chance. He nearly scored. Right. You know, I think if this guy gets more minutes under his belt, we could see the Smith-Rowe of old. But yeah, probably Fabio Vieira if he's fit.
I think Fabio Vieira has kind of earned his position in the team based on his previous performances.
Although he was quiet in that North London derby.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, there was a number of players that were off it, if we're being honest. But I think overall, he's come in and he's done well, and I want to see more of him.
Okay.
He's very creative, and I think away from home, you do need guys like that can, you know what I mean, try and get us forward, get us up the pitch, and creates moments of magic. So yeah, I'll go Vieira.
Right, front three. Now, Saka rested the other night. I was talking to Cecil earlier. He was saying, boy, he'd rest him again and save him for Lons and
You say you were talking to Cecil. Did you get a word in?
But Lons, he said he'd save him for Lons and Man City. and then bring in a player who you said earlier was brilliant the other night, Reece Nelson.
Yeah.
Reece Nelson, of course, famously got the winner against Bournemouth.
He did.
When we came from 2-1 down in that, 1-0 down in that game at the Emirates. Who would start there? Was it Saka for you, or Reece?
Saka. To me, Saka, if he's fit and available, he's another no-brainer.
All right.
And that's not to discredit anyone else in the team. I mean, listen, we've got a very strong bench. We haven't always had a strong bench. If you look back at previous Premier League campaigns, we do this season. I'm saying utilise the bench as much as possible. However, there are certain players within the team. Saka's one of them, no-brainer.
Right, left-hand side, there are rumours that Martinelli and Trossard could be in contention for this game after their injuries. If they're both fit, who comes in for you? Trossard,
that is a dichotomy,
who scored a 2 in 2,
2 in 2,
or Martinelli?
You know what? Normally I would have said Martinelli, but Trossard, man, 2 in 2, and it's not just the 2 in 2; it's the finishes.
Assists as well.
I was saying to Cecil last week when I did a fan cam, he's possibly our best finisher at the club. So yeah, I'd opt for Trossard.
Trossard.
Yeah, I'd opt for Trossard.
Okay. Obviously, we're not too sure if both of them are going to be fit. If they're not both fit, would you return back to Jesus playing on the left-hand side, like what they did, the manager did against Tottenham?
I don't think that position works best for Gabriel. He can play there, but I like to see him through the middle.
All right. So hopefully one of those two will be fit, right? Down the middle.
Yeah.
Who are you going for?
Well, if you've been watching this channel for a long time, you would know that I'm an advocate of Eddie. I do appreciate what he brings to the table. That being said, I've just scintillated it. Gabriel, for me, he's our senior striker. He causes the most threat up top. I think he's more likely to get you a goal than Eddie. He's a bit more clinical, although even he can miss chances on occasions. But for me, it's got to be Gabriel.
All right. So Jesus down the middle. So Gabriel Jesus down the middle. Trossard on the left, Saka on the right. That's a very, very strong side. That's if they're all fit. That's if they're all fit and ready to go on the day. That we don't know. I'll give an alternative, actually, that if there is a fitness issue with one of those two, I don't want to see what we did in the North London derby, which was Jesus on the left, Eddie down the middle. I'd opt to put Reece out on the left, Reece Nelson cutting in on his right, and then put Jesus down the middle. That's what I'd go for. But hopefully,
and Bournemouth know him well.
Yeah, yeah. But hopefully, everybody will be fit and everybody's back and ready for this game. So it's a big game. It's taking place on Saturday here at the Vitality Stadium, 3 p.m. kickoff UK time. Massive, massive game. We want to know from you guys, what team would you go for? Remember, download the app AFTV Plus right now and you can select your team that you would like to see play in the game, right? So download that and you do that right now. Thanks for watching. We'll be back soon.